Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining me today as we explore one of the most unbelievable, fascinating, and mind-bending stories to emerge from the world of rare American coins. If you've ever wondered whether an ordinary penny, the same simple copper-colored coin that's been passed from hand to hand millions of times, dropped on sidewalks, found in old pockets, tossed into jars, and quietly ignored in the bottom of drawers could ever be worth a staggering, unimaginable, life-changing $294 million, then prepare yourself. Because today we're diving into a story that transforms the humble 2001 Lincoln penny into something extraordinary, mysterious, and almost mythical in its rarity. It's a story about hidden value, mint errors, anomalies, and the kind of unexpected discoveries that ignite the imaginations of collectors all around the world. So settle in, because what you're about to hear is far more than a simple explanation of a coin's features. It's a journey into how an everyday object can rise to legendary status through a series of mistakes, mishaps, and nearly impossible minting events. Imagine holding a 2001 Lincoln penny right now. It feels light, familiar, and unimpressive. You've seen it countless times before. Maybe you used one earlier today without a second thought. Maybe there are dozens of them sitting in the car's cup holder or scattered across your desk. And yet, among the millions of pennies minted that year, there exists the possibility that one coin struck under incredibly rare and unique circumstances could be worth more than some of the most expensive artworks ever sold, more than luxury mansions, more than fleets of exotic cars, and even more than many people will ever earn in their lifetimes. What could possibly make a penny from 2001 so valuable? The answer lies in the world of minting errors, the unexpected, the unintentional, the unusual, and the nearly impossible combinations of mistakes that transform a common object into a treasure worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The year 2001 may not seem like a particularly special year in American history from a coin collector's perspective, but when you step behind the scenes and take a closer look at what was happening inside the United States Mint, everything becomes more interesting. It was a time of modernization, a time when technology was advancing rapidly, and the mint was continuing to upgrade equipment to keep up with the demands of a new era. Old machines were being phased out, new calibration processes were in place, and human oversight was still essential for certain steps. Whenever a period of technological transition occurs, the door opens for mysterious and rare mint errors. A single loose component, a minor misalignment, a slip in timing, or a misfed planchet could result in errors so unusual that collectors decades later would scarcely believe they happened, and this is exactly what gives rise to legends like the 2001 Lincoln penny with the astonishing valuation of $294 million. Not because the coin is made of gold or silver or rare metals, but because it carries something far more powerful, a once-in-a-lifetime combination of errors that elevate it to a level of rarity reserved only for the most mythical and sought-after coins. Imagine for a moment a penny produced under normal circumstances. A clean copper-plated zinc planchet enters the press, the dies strike with precision, and out comes the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln in perfect clarity. But now imagine another scenario. Imagine a planchet that wasn't supposed to enter that press at all. Imagine a die that was slightly rotated, misaligned, or improperly polished. Imagine a mint mark that was punched off center or doubled by mistake. Imagine a strike-through event where a fragment, fiber, shaving, or grease interrupted the impression at the exact moment the die came down. Or imagine the rarest of all possibilities, multiple errors layered together like the geological strata of some ancient artifact. This is the kind of coin that becomes legendary. Collectors often talk about error coins in categories. There are double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, wrong planchet strikes, broad strikes, re-punched mint marks, transitional metal errors, and die cracks. Each of these on their own can turn a common coin into a rare collectible. But when you begin to imagine a coin that includes several of these errors at once, suddenly you are dealing with something that transcends rarity. Think about a double die obverse error. That means the image of Lincoln, along with the lettering, might appear slightly doubled, giving the coin a ghostly, layered effect. The word liberty might appear as if it has a shadow. The date 2001 might have a split in its lines, with a faint second set of numbers visible. Errors like these happen when the die itself was improperly prepared, Now imagine that same coin also has a misaligned strike, where the design sits too far to one side, causing an empty crescent of blank metal to appear on the rim. This kind of off-center strike can already add enormous value because it makes the coin instantly unique. Collectors adore these dramatic visual errors, but what if the mint mark error is present as well? In 2001, the mint mark was no longer hand-punched like in earlier decades, but that doesn't mean errors were impossible. Die chips, breaks, cracks, grease-filled dies, or die deterioration could create a mint mark that looks distorted, swollen, incomplete, or nearly missing. A faint mint mark alone can make a coin rare. But if the mint mark not only appears faint but also appears doubled or partially shifted, the rarity increases exponentially. Then consider something even more dramatic, a strike-through error where a fragment of metal or a thread from a mint worker's cleaning cloth accidentally becomes pressed between the die and the planchet. The result is an imprint that doesn't belong there, a strange indentation or raised area that carries the outline or texture of whatever was caught in that brief moment. Sometimes these strike-through errors create patterns that look so unusual that collectors consider them works of accidental art, but the layered error coin that could reach $294 million doesn't stop there. Imagine the possibility that the coin was struck on the wrong planchet. For example, imagine a leftover dime planchet, thinner and smaller than a penny planchet, accidentally getting mixed into the penny production line. If a 2001 penny design were struck on a dime planchet, the result would be shocking to look at, a penny design squeezed onto the wrong metal, slightly shrinking, distorting, or tightening the image. These wrong planchet errors are some of the most valuable in the world. And if such a coin also included doubling, off-center striking, and mint mark anomalies, you would be looking at value beyond imagination. Collectors often say that a coin becomes priceless when it tells a story no other coin tells. And that is what makes the idea of the 2001 penny so enticing. Every scratch, every line, every curve becomes a part of its identity. Under magnification, the coin's errors act like fingerprints revealing the circumstances of its birth. A slightly rotated die suggests a specific shift on a specific machine at a specific moment. A double die effect suggests a sign of improper hubbing. A mint mark anomaly suggests something unusual happened to that particular die. A strike-through impression hints that something foreign interfered at the exact instant of the strike. All these pieces together form a narrative, and collectors love narratives. Auctions have witnessed coins selling for tens of millions simply because of a strong story, a connection to an era, a mystery behind their creation, or a one-of-a-kind feature. Now imagine a coin whose story includes multiple errors layered in perfect chaotic harmony. A coin that survived circulation, or perhaps escaped circulation entirely. A coin that someone discovered not because they were searching for treasure, but because they happened to look closely at something most people overlook. Imagine a person at home, sorting through spare change from a jar. Maybe they were looking for coins to roll. Maybe they simply stumbled on something unusual. They pick up the 2001 penny and notice something strange. The date looks odd, the letters look doubled, the mint mark doesn't look right. They turn the coin in the light. The edges look unusual, maybe a little wider, maybe slightly irregular. The color somehow looks different from the other pennies. And as they continue to examine it, they realize that they might be holding something extraordinary. That moment of discovery is powerful. Many collectors describe it as a rush of excitement, a mixture of disbelief and curiosity. Suddenly the smallest coin becomes the center of attention. People begin researching, looking up examples of rare errors, comparing details, reaching out to experts. The story grows. The mystery deepens. And eventually the coin enters the world of professional grading. Grading is the gateway to legitimacy. Once a grading company confirms the presence of multiple extremely rare errors and acknowledges that the coin is unlike any other, the value skyrockets.